What's going on, guys? Welcome to week 2 of the podcast. How are y'all doing today, Brody, Billy?
Doing pretty good.
Doing good over here.
Y'all ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Got some
ready
exciting
good questions
today. Number one, we are talking about the Bugatti Chiron that went 300 miles per hour. That just blows my mind. What do you guys think? Did you ever imagine a car that's street legal going 300 miles per hour?
Yeah, it's a thing I deal with on a daily basis. This FJ goes substantially faster than that. I've had Lansing wrecks going 400. But no, honestly, very impressive. Really cool thing. It's one of those things where, everyone's got those goals of hitting 200 miles an hour. And now, we're on a whole new level of going to basically 300 plus. So, it's 300 miles an hour now, and you never know, next maybe 350, whatever. You don't know what's coming up.
Right. Was there any doubt? Go ahead, Billy. What are your initial thoughts?
I was going to say just the technology alone in the tires to be able to go that fast is mind-blowing. And then you got to think of gas lasting that long, because I know on the Super Sport, going flat out in it, it takes 7 minutes to drain the tank completely.
Wow.
Which is mind-blowing in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. What was there any doubt in you guys' mind that Bugatti would be the first ones to go 300 miles per hour?
Oh, absolutely not. They've been pushing the envelope since they came out with the very first Bugatti.
Right.
I could agree with that. I'm not the biggest speed guy, so I don't really know. I don't kind of follow what's everyone doing out there. But, if you think about a brand that would be the first to hit that 300 mile an hour mark, I think Bugatti would be one of the first names that come to mind. So.
Absolutely. I can definitely agree with both of those. I really can't think of anything, I would say mainstream, like Ferrari or Lamborghini or anything like that would even come close to competing with the Bugatti. Besides Bugatti, like there's some other, crazy side projects that kind of private companies are working on and whatnot. But out of basically all the companies we know, I would say Bugatti for sure.
Absolutely. They made the Super Sport just to be the fastest production car in the world, because I believe the Ford GT40 beat them, and then they came out with the Super Sport just to top them, just to one up them.
Right.
So yeah, no doubt that Bugatti was gonna go 300.
The fastest I've ever gone was 200 in my C6 Vet. What about you guys? And 200 was fast. That was
That's
fast.
crazy.
That was for real.
How fast did you go?
Fastest I've got about 25. I'm that guy in the right lane with my habit on. Click.
Yeah.
The fastest I've been in a car is not 200, so 140-ish, right around there.
Okay.
So the fastest I got, it was in my WRX. The speedometer taxed out at 140, but the needle is well past the 140 mark.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess 145, but I have no idea. I just saw it go past, and I was scared.
Just to be clear, these are all track times, so on a controlled environment. Yes.
In Mexico.
Yeah. To be honest, like I tell my audience all the time, the only place I ever raced is in Mexico. So. And all these other countries.
They have racing problems.
Well, I definitely encourage you guys to experience 200 miles per hour, because that's incredible. I can't even imagine going 300, to be honest with you. That's just ridiculous. But I would certainly like to. So one of the topics we were asked to go ahead and do today were to choose a car under 10 grand. Any car we could have under 10 grand, what would it be and why? So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Mr. Billy.
Oh, actually, I have some notes.
Notes.
This is good.
So under 10 grand, I would, if just an easy daily, I would probably choose the Mercedes E55 AMG, just because it's a Mercedes and just because it's an AMG. You got your big V8 and a little sedan. You got all your comforts and all the bells and whistles.
And what years?
That'd just be it for a daily.
What years are those?
Go ahead. I want to say it's early 2000s.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, it's either early 2000s or I want to say around 2005, but I could be wrong.
Gotcha.
But if I would do like a track setup car, it would be a Lexus SC 400 because it's basically like your Supra, but without the MK4 Supra price tag on it.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Brody?
So I'm going to hit the different end of the spectrum, and I guess you could kind of say this in two different ways. For $10,000, mine would probably just be a project. So ideally, what I would probably do with $10,000, buy $10,000, buy anything I wanted.
Okay.
I'd probably go pick up myself a nice original, either 1970s-ish era FJ40 would be ideal.
Okay.
So, two-door, one of the originals. That would be something that I would love to have. But, we're talking, you're not getting a whole lot for $10,000. So basically, you're talking maybe a shell. It might run. You never know, but it's gonna need a lot of love. Because I would say like an original 1970s Ford Bronco or even like a Scout or something like that.
Okay.
But we're pushing that $10,000 price tag just on a a resto mod, beat up, kind of like junkyard fine Bronco stuff like that. So
actually was gonna guess that you'd say Bronco.
Well, there you go.
Billy got it.
Okay, I can dig it.
What about you?
Well, I'm gonna go. I got two actually. I've got two different choices here. So one of the choices would be 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse. Gut the entire thing. 200 shot of nitrous. Just the lightest wheels you could get possible. I mean, it just turn it into a rocket. I've always liked those cars since Fast and Furious, since Midnight Club 3 came out. I played the hell out of that game and really enjoyed that vehicle. So that's always been one of my favorites. Or get an old school muscle car, like an old school Mustang or old school. It's hard to get like a Charger nowadays. They're super expensive. Even in terrible condition, they're extremely expensive. The bodies are. But try to get like an old school muscle car, maybe one that wasn't super popular. That way it doesn't have the giant price tag, because I'd want to throw in, some kind of, probably a 350, throw a 350 in there and just have a nice big American V8 and an old school muscle car body. And I'd be good, man. I'd be good. I'd be okay with that.
Now the question is on the Eclipse, would you go all-wheel drive or the front-wheel drive?
Probably all-wheel.
That'd be a cool build.
All-wheel, definitely underglow for sure. $40 underglow from Amazon.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You gotta do color changing.
Yeah, absolutely.
This would definitely be a fun topic to kind of go more in depth about down the road. Kind of setting a budget. Like realistically, what can you get for $10,000? Like for me, like what project can I get, and then what motor, what everything can I put in to kind of keep below that 10K mark? Because I really don't know. I mean, that's a good question.
Right. I feel like you can get an Eclipse for like $2,000 right now. Like $2,000 to $3,000, you can get a decent Eclipse. So with another $7,000, I mean, you can do a lot of that for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You would think, but
money doesn't go very far in cars.
We could definitely spend it for sure. So next question: with Hurricane Dorian and all this crazy hurricane season stuff going on, what vehicle would you want to have during all the madness? It looks like you already got one ready to roll. The FJ Cruiser looks pretty stout for hurricane season.
It wouldn't do too bad. We're talking, you can fully submerge the FJ, all that kind of stuff, which it would probably make it through quite a bit of water. But, with everything, it doesn't matter even if you can submerge it, it's going to float.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you do, Billy?
I would do a Marauder. I don't know if you guys are Top Gear fans, but they had one on there. Richard Hammond covered it, and he was running over parked cars. He was running through brick walls. Yeah. He blew it up with C4, and all it did was dug a hole in the ground. It's a military-ready vehicle that you can buy now, but it's got a pretty pretty price tag on it. It's
Yeah.
I want to say well over 6 digits. But I mean, it would definitely last for sure.
All right.
For me, realistically, I think like a Humvee or any kind of Hummer would do fantastic because we're talking about a vehicle, the diesel and all that stuff. That's gonna be the biggest issue. You're not gonna be able. You gotta have a car that's gonna last you a while, fuel wise. Which all these lifted vehicles aren't gonna do that for you.
Sure.
But I still think the Hummer durability wise, even if you have the Duramax swap and all that stuff done to it as well to improve the power,
Yeah.
I think with a minor lift kit, maybe some like 37, 40-inch tires, you're really going to get through any debris in the way. So that would be kind of my choice if I had my way.
Okay. I can dig.
All right. I'm pretty easy to read.
I'm gonna take it like 360. Like this is gonna be complete. I guess 180. Completely different. Okay. You guys James Bond fans? You guys James Bond?
Say that again.
I said, are you guys James Bond fans? 007 series.
We are. Yes.
Yeah. You know the submarine car? Pretty sure I just. And just
not even realistic.
It just float away. You know what I mean? Not realistic. You're telling me that they haven't made something like that? Come on.
No, but hold on though. Is it the hurricane causing torrential flooding and all that stuff, or is it just going to be like a debris hurricane?
I'm thinking we're just going to take a break. We're going to go into the ocean, do some scuba diving, and once
make it a vacation. Yeah.
Oh my!
I can get behind that. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, why not? So I've got a really, really interesting story for you guys, and I want to get your opinion on it because I thought it was kind of messed up, and I think you guys would agree with me. So here in Houston, Texas, in Harris County, we have a very aggressive police force here, I would say. There's been a lot of street racing and organized sideshows and takeover meets here in Houston over the last 12 to 18 months. It's really been getting very popular. The car scene has been just popping. Brody, I know you've seen some of the shows that they've been putting on here in Houston, with the fireworks and all the craziness, takeovers, which I agree to some extent, like it can be dangerous, like especially when they're taking over intersections. Like that's not, it's not cool. That can definitely hurt some people and whatnot. But that being said, Harris County Police Department has taken a very active role in making examples of people who are associated with that kind of scene. Long story short, I had a young lady I know get pulled over yesterday. She was driving her 370Z. It was in the middle of the day. It wasn't at night. Nothing was going on. She got pulled over because she had 1320 video stickers on her car and an Njuku sticker on her car. She didn't get pulled over because she didn't signal. She didn't get pulled over because she was speeding. She literally got pulled over. The cop pulled over and gave her a warning, said she was going to give her a ticket next time if she didn't take the stickers off because she was an illegal street gang member.
That's crazy.
I can't make this stuff up.
I don't know. I can believe it just because I'm all for the cops and all that stuff. So, I got nothing against them. The big thing for me is it's just like, there are some things that just don't need to happen. Right. I mean, why? Like, why can't we go take our time and do something better than pulling somebody over for a sticker? Right. I mean, and again, it's not even anything like I've seen some videos where it's really questionable material being posted out on the sticker. But for something just like a company, 1320 video, I mean, it's a company that posts. Yes, some of the stuff they post is not questionable, but they do post street racing. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily are involved. I don't know. It's hard to say. I know there's a lot of free speech, all that stuff, but if you're gonna get pulled over, someone's just gonna get pulled over.
Billy, that's crazy. That's like I think time spent better elsewhere.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, like, here's the thing. If you're being caught in the act of doing something illegal, specifically street racing, you knew the consequences before you did it. Like, it is what it is. Like, I would never fault a police officer for doing their job, making sure streets are safe and enforcing the laws. But when you start pulling people over for the stickers on their cars, I think that's borderline harassment. I mean, I've seen minivans like with a 1320 video sticker on it because they enjoy the content. They enjoy the content. They enjoy watching the channel. They enjoy watching all the videos. That's not a crime to support, a production company that you enjoy, regardless if they're, producing videos about street racing or not. And that's kind of where it draws the line. Like, if you know for a fact, like, if she was racing, if she was doing something illegal, fine. But just for having the stickers, that's a little ridiculous. That's like saying, I'm a police officer. I don't believe and I don't like Trump, so I'm going to pull people over with Trump stickers. Like, come on.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of goes on the same realm of, oh, you drive a Corvette, so I'm going to pull you over. Or you drive, any kind of sports car at all, I'm going to pull you over. Which, yes, these cars are, quote unquote, ticket magnets where they're going to get pulled over. But, I mean, geez, then it's going to go down the line like your Audi, for example. Say you have racing slicks on it, which, okay, bad example, because racing slicks are illegal. Let's say you had, like, some kind of Pirelli racing.
I like to go to drag and race.
Yeah. Yeah. So, whatever, just something like that. You could get pulled over for that. It's like, it all depends. Because, I mean, technically, one of the biggest, I think out of all three of us, the most illegal car here is actually this guy right here. So, nothing like, oh, it's going to, be a race car or anything like that. It's just the modifications I've done to it. Like, technically here in Colorado, you can't have modified suspension, stuff like that. So, it's like, well, technically, on paper, it's not. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
Brody, what happens when you like Street Speed 717, right? Typically, like, we enjoy watching this content. So let's say you go to InShane Designs and you buy a Street Speed 717 decal and you put it on your car. And then a cop pulls you over, not for your suspension, not for your tires, not for anything like that. He says, hey, you need to take that sticker off because that guy street races. And you're eliciting street racing.
It's yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's as dumb as it sounds. It really is. It's just, it's a different time these days, man. I mean, everything is someone's offended in some way, and you do something, and it makes you, oh, I'm condoning this activity. Well, not really. I just like their stuff, but
you get put in categories just because of what you like.
Because, I mean, you could even branch that out even more. Like, if I have a Sparco license plate frame. I mean, technically, okay, Sparco racing seats. Oh, he has racing seats. Right. Oh, he's a race car driver. He's gonna go race. Like, yeah, you can basically break it all out, and it just seems unnecessary.
I haven't been driving for the last month because I fractured my right ankle, and once I get back on the road here in a couple of weeks, I'm kind of like, I need to be careful because Harris County, they're not playing around anymore.
They're going to start looking for that gentleman's driving stickers.
I don't. Some people who wear our stuff, they do participate in those kind of activity. That doesn't mean the company condones that activity. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I think it's uncalled for.
I mean, yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely like I said, it just seems unnecessary to cause that. And I mean, like, yeah, we don't have the full entire story, but I mean, if it was just the sticker, it's like, it's hard. It's like, does she have a modified exhaust? It's like stuff like that, where it's like, is it just a piece of the puzzle that adds up to everything else? Like, yeah, maybe she didn't do anything, but maybe like the car's lowered, it has a modified exhaust, it has, whatever else done to it. He might have just pulled over. It said it was the sticker, but it was like an accumulation of multiple things.
Well, we can only go off the information we have. What's the car scene like in Colorado Springs right now? What's going on there? What's the new big thing? I know, like I said, you kind of seen what's been going on here. It's been craziness.
So definitely nothing as insane as down in Houston. The Denver scene, it gets a little rowdy once in a while. So it's it's definitely the majority of the car scene is all up north. Down here in Colorado Springs, I would say it's not as
active.
You're great. Yeah, it's not as active as it used to be 5-10 years ago, whatever.
1320 was actually in Denver not too long ago. They just posted a couple videos out in Denver.
Yeah. I've heard stories about stuff going on up in Denver car wise. I'm like trucks blocking the highway for racing, but I've never seen it. Have you been to Nationwide or any nation? There's a few different car groups that go up there, but I personally haven't been to many. We went to like maybe 1 or 2 shows, but mainly all my stuff is just off-road related, and it's during the day, and there's really no racing or anything involved. But I'm a bad person to ask.
Yeah, I've heard stories of people going on I-25, which is the main highway up here, blocking off all traffic lanes so the people in front of them can go speeding off racing and just cycle through that. But I've never actually encountered it. I mean, it'd be cool to see, but that's also highly dangerous and kind of stupid if you ask me.
So, kind of rumors. Like, does it happen? I don't know. It could.
I have a sneaky suspicion that it does happen.
Based off the stuff I've seen going on down there in Houston.
I've got some Houston stories, but I can't tell them on the air.
Oh, well, I mean, geez, they're all over the news with all those places getting shut down, like you said. The fireworks, lighting bonfires in the middle of basically roadways and all that stuff. Like, that's insane. Like, it's stuff you would think, oh, it's in a movie. No, it's just in Houston.
They really turned it into a real life Fast and Furious for real.
Yeah. And if it's, it makes you think, like, where else in the country is that also prevalent?
But, I'm pretty in tune with the culture, the car culture here, and I do like to have fun. But I definitely do have kind of lines and limits where I kind of don't cross. Like, you won't see me doing a burnout in the middle of a crowded intersection. Like, that's just a little too far. That's a little too far for sure. But another thing I wanted to kind of get into and just briefly mention is that GentlemenDrivingClub.com just released breast cancer awareness shirts. So if you guys are interested in picking up one of those, definitely go check them out. I'll leave the link down below in the description. It's a good way to show awareness for breast cancer. I know basically everyone either has experienced it, has family, friends, or neighbors who have. So it's definitely a good way to, kind of, we all wear pink during October, try to get the awareness out there and support the cause. So you guys can do that if you like. I'll leave the link down below in the description. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
And just another quick announcement for those of you who want to continue the discussion, kind of similar discussions we have here on the podcast. We do that on through the Patreon and Discord group. I'll leave the link to that down below as well. It's a great way to support both of our channels, as well as continuing the chat after the podcast, talking about modifications, anything and everything. So it's a great place to do that. What else you guys got for today?
I don't know. Made a lot of progress on modifications here. I know we did finally go ahead and make that Overland Baja setup on the Raptor. So we have the rooftop tent mounted on there with all that stuff as well. So that's finished. Billy and I are in the process of looking into building custom roof racks for Porsche Cayennes now. So hopefully sooner rather than later, we can have a
prototype.
Yeah, basically have a prototype running on his, which we kind of have a few different options going. So maybe something along the lines of over here, mounting kind of like a light option like that with a basket, or even doing like a flat roof rack so you can mount a tent on that Porsche as well. So stay tuned for that. That might be something coming soon. Anything else?
Oh, bro, you picked up some RC cars.
Well, I did. We picked up 3 Nitro Traxxas RC cars, which are an absolute blast to play with. I don't know if you guys ever, experienced a Traxxas or own one yourselves, but these are the Nitro ones. They're a little bit older. Got them off Craigslist, but yeah, absolutely insane. We have a Jado that'll push basically 70 miles an hour. We have a Slayer Pro over here, which is 4-wheel drive, and it'll just rip donuts in the dirt all day long, and they're blast. So Not cheap, but they're a really fun little toy to have. So,
well, I have
what about
been
you, Sean?
looking
What's going on?
into some big turbos for the Audi. They're actually not
Nice,
bad.
nice.
Like I found a couple kits on the cheap side, $2,000 for the whole kit. On kind of like if you want to splurge a little bit more, maybe about 3,400. So there's definitely some viable options out there for the big turbo. The problem is not a lot of people have actually taken those A4 and built them to the between 400 and 500 mark. Like there's only a couple people online that I really saw got into 400 to 500 horsepower mark, which is really what I would want to get it to. So that's kind of discouraging me a little bit. I know it can be done, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I like it. I'm all for it. I think it's something that, again, like we talked about before. I don't know if we talked about it in the last blog or not, but definitely the Audi A4 is a great platform for a race kind of car platform that you just won't see very often. I mean, it's a very uncommon car that people will do more tuner modifications, like you're saying, the turbo and all that stuff. So I'm excited. I would be definitely behind getting my hands on that and getting it all running well. And I'm excited to see where it goes.
We'll see what happens. I need to get it. It's got oil leak, so I got to figure that out before I do anything else. So. No idea where it's coming from. But we'll have. I said it's got an oil.
You said it has what?
It's like
okay.
I have to fill it with a liter of oil every 500 miles, 1,000 miles, 1,000 miles.
Really?
1,000 miles, yeah.
I mean, it is a turbo setup on there currently, right? With the A4. I mean, it's a common thing for turbos to burn oil. Hey, maybe one of those things. I know that, for example, Volkswagens, the Jettas, and anybody who has one of those, I know they've been known to burn a little bit of oil here and there. And I had a coworker who same thing. He had to put basically a quart of oil in, probably around that every 1,000 mileage. So it might just be a common thing. I'm not sure on the Audis. I've never personally owned one. So it could be something minor like that, or it's something you might have to tear into a little bit more to go figure out.
Well, gentlemen, kind of a little bit shorter episode today, but I think we got some good topics. And what do you guys have in closing? I said, what do you guys have in closing? Anything you want to say to the audience before we get on out of here?
Billy?
Just stay tuned for our content. We got a couple of videos coming out pretty shortly.
Yeah, so stay tuned. If you guys want to have any content on what's going on with my cars or Billy's, you can follow us on our YouTube channel or our Instagrams. Our YouTube channel is at BrodyBuilt. My Instagram is BrodyBuilt. Billy's is BG_built. So you can follow him in his Porsche. He is looking at other options as well. Did you want to talk about that? Billy has lots of options. C10 or the Mustang.
So I'm trying to look for a project car myself. I want to do a drift car.
You got that hyperdrive fever.
I need.
You got that hyperdrive fever.
Heck yeah! So I was looking at either getting a C10 or a New Edge Mustang GT, probably.
So that'd be perfect, though. We could have the C10 drift car for hyperdrive, and then the Ford Raptor car for hyperdrive. So it's a win-win. We're gonna have one that can't fit on the track and one that'll be great.
That's what's up. You Billy just gave me a really good idea because I've been kind of going back and forth on whether I should modify this Audi or not, and I might leave it how it is and just pick up that Eclipse we talked about.
That'd be sweet, dude. I say do it.
You're gonna go purple convertible, right? Ooh, go with the Spider? Exactly. The full-blown Fast and Furious Eclipse.
That's not how I would do it.
Exactly. I can get behind that too. Keep the Audi classy. I can see that.
I'd literally be able to rip the Eclipse apart and do whatever I wanted to with basically no consequences.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you break it, you still have a way to get to work.
The only problem is those cars
Not if you break it,
problem
when
is
you
those
break
cars are so
it.
like they're just stupid slow. Oh yeah.
The Eclipses are? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, there you go. Now you're saving your money and you're buying the car. Now you can put your turbo on that one.
Oh god, that'd be
LS
nasty.
swap.
I
Nice
don't
rear-wheel
think an
drive
LS
setup
motor
going
would
on
fit
there.
in there. I said I don't think an LS
What's
motor
that?
would fit in there.
Not with that attitude.
Yeah, exactly. You can make anything fit, Sean. Come on now.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. We will catch you next week.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Yeah.